Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the LCS. Not just the LCS, but the last day of the regular split here in summer 2024. Spawn's coming back for another game. We decided he did such a damn good job in the first one. We just got to have a sequel to that. And we've got to have a sequel to this first game, which, gentlemen, was not very bloody for a very long time. But once C9 took over, FlyQuest never found their way back.
All right, let's take some bets here. Who's going to get winning lanes in this one? I think they're going to change their ways.
I don't think so. I think Cloud9 would be really happy with what they showed in that game, and they're thinking, if we can just play to outscale, we can actually teamfight better than this
No,
game.
I think FlyQuest are going to change their ways.
Oh, okay.
They're the ones who lost. I think they're the ones that need to change their ways. And there we go. They prioritize the Lillia instead. They yoink it away this time.
Yep, they'll drop the priority on the first pick, Ashe. They'll go for the Lillia. It is Nidalee, Renekton, and Yone banned out by Fly. C9 keeping Aurora off the Rift alongside the Ezreal and Kalista bans. Would not be surprised at all to see this locked in yet again. Hopefully for C9 fans, he doesn't have the same laning experience as the previous game. And okay, it's just going to be Corki, Zeri, both slam first rotation.
Spawn's eyes got really big, but if you know Reaper and you look over at Reaper, it's just like sometimes a player has a good game and they're like, yeah, I want to play Zeri again. Give me the Zeri. We'll insta blind pick this thing.
But that is double blind pick scaling. Like, that is crazy. They didn't even win the lanes and they just run it back straight away.
Well, they're not scared of the early FlyQuest, even with solo kill, Lucian versus Corki, quad, taking down JoJo. He's saying, I'm going to do it again.
Yeah, what I will say, though, is the Ashe pick is a little bit disincentivized here because you don't want to give abundance of cleanse value when you're playing something like the Lillia. You want to make sure that, you know, you have just more upfront damage to be able to win the skirmishes.
Also, the Ashe drops a little in priority if you don't hit any arrows.
Oh,
yeah.
Also true.
As an archer, you got to be able to hit those, you know?
Oh, okay. Blaber matching the Lillia here with the brand. He has actually been, I would say, our best brand player in the LCS. We have had some really good ones, though. Boogie was also quite good with the brand, but Blaber, I feel like, has just been a master.
Okay. Boogie's cameo in the LCS split was really good. I will give him that.
He was a guest character?
Correct. Blaber has been here the whole time, and I feel like, again, just the team-fighting prowess of these junglers is what's not spoken about enough. Sure, they farm a lot, they get their items, but they actually convert their items to a lot of damage in these teamfights. And we've got the two best team-fighting AP junglers going at it right now. Definitely
an exciting one. Let's get into the second round of bans here. Interesting. They're still targeting more dives, so they take out the Kai'Sa. I like that. Nautilus is already pairing with something that they know is going to want to dive.
Yeah.
So whittling down here on possible things that will threaten the Zeri.
Now, the big thing that I'm curious about is what are we going to see for Bwipo? I felt like we just didn't get a whole lot from him in game number one. I feel like he's kind of been having an underwhelming split in general, and I think a lot of people are going to be looking to him to step up for FlyQuest.
Well, since they're on blue side, unfortunately for him, I think he's going to have to be bind clicking again. I'm assuming Cloud9 right now are just going to pick up support.
But against Thanatos, you never really blind pick, because if you ban Renekton, he always picks Gnar. So you get to just pick a Gnar counter pick, and he's probably just going to pick Gnar anyway. So that's the key to the Thanatos. He really does just draft off a tier list here.
Let's see. I wonder if he'll... okay, we'll see what Bwipo does first. But if Thanatos wants to throw something down like his Camille or something, yet again in this one, for a little bit of spice, a little bit of surprise. Here we go, though. No Cassante this time, Bwipo. What is your blind pick? He definitely is one that has some off-meta, even blind picks to go for. Rakan and Nautilus. So Nautilus is going somewhere else.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Nautilus could be a... Oh, wait. Rakan also, technically, do you know the AP mid
AP
Rakans?
mid Rakan, solo cute cheese, some classic mozzarella?
That was a thing. I don't think it's a particular... Okay, with the Nilah. Wait, are we going to get some weird Nilah cheese stuff?
Yeah, we're going to get Nilah cheese. We're getting like a tri-lane or something.
Yeah, there's also even been something... So there is a Nilah plus Lee Sin is the primary, partner for the super cheese.
Oh, I know that one, yeah.
Yeah, that came up where you jump into the base and then you go level 1 proxy. there's no Lee Sin here, so we're probably not getting that, but like maybe there's some tricky stuff with Rakan. They could also do some jumping around.
The 3-lane level 1 proxy. I remember seeing that in a Challenger solo queue game I spectated one time.
It's
I was
a boosting
so
strategy. I believe originated on the Chinese servers. But regardless, I'm excited. We got a Nilah pick here.
Okay, we've got Nilah and top lane Nautilus for the side of FlyQuest. They're going to run back to mid lane Lucian. They got Rakan in support. Over on C9, the bottom 3 picks are going to be the exact same as game number 1. Brand instead of Lillia since it was picked away from him. And Thanatos, it's not Gnar. It's not Gnar.
It isn't. I'm surprised.
It's not particularly exciting. It's an orange.
Hey, man, it's not Gnar.
All right, so top lane Nautilus, and we get a Nilah lane on bottom side as well. Now, Nilah can definitely punish a Zeri Braum. I feel like these are double counter picks. Rakan has always been one of the really good picks into Braum with the extra mobility there. And with a Nilah, you can go super aggressive. It can actually be a snowball lane. So FlyQuest have done early power again. FlyQuest are again going to be on a bit of a timer. Nilah has an amazing collector plus infinity edge spike.
Yep.
Has some really, really powerful early spikes you can go for. So I am once again very invested in the early game of this FlyQuest composition. Plus, if we even overlook the Nilah, then we've got a top Nautilus up there for Bwipo cooking hard.
Speaking of top Nautilus, I was just informed the last time the LCS had a top lane Nautilus was summer of 2017. 7 years ago, played by Lola. That was my first year as a professional caster. You were still a caster then.
Do you know how you know we're old, though? Because he says 2017, I'm like, that's not that long ago. What do you mean?
Wait, so that's
Only 7 years?
That's an entirely different timeline, man.
Spawn had a few less tattoos then and a few less gray hairs as well, probably.
Just a little bit more hair in general, actually.
I wasn't going to go there, but...
Man, I still probably had mulch in my shoes from back in Ohio. That was so long ago.
We've got some good party pictures from then as well.
Those were good there were good times back in 2017. Lots of top lane Nautiluses. Everybody just having fun.
But what I will say is I thought there was going to be shenanigans with the top lane Nautilus. However, they had picked the one answer into the top lane Nautilus where the top lane Nautilus can now probably just lane.
Yeah.
Why try hard draft in regular season? Oh, the banter.
No response.
Okay, Nilah's coming out to the top side, so it is like Nilah is kind of playing with 2 supports right now.
Yeah.
That's what I will say. So I would expect this Nilah to kind of ping-pong around the map and try and get as much experience as possible.
Okay, so just Nilah, super carry, main character energy. They want to treat her the same way that C9 treats JoJo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So remember that if they want to abuse this Nilah strategy, Nilah has to actually get the last hits to give the bonus experience. I've seen people mess up the boosting strategy when like the Lee Sin takes some of the kills and stuff and then they don't get the extra experience, but she's got a very complicated passive. Sometimes people don't feel like reading the entire thing since it also has that increased effectiveness of healing and shielding on it, but just going to be the lane swap here with full 4 on the top side. So Thanatos does have to worry about the possible classic early push into dive, and Bwipo wants to make sure he's going to stick around for it.
See, Thanatos going to face check. He's in dive range right now, so even though Inspired only picked up 3 camps, this could just be a straight-up 4v1 dive.
Yeah, this is much more classic lane swap.
All right, bowling ball not going to find the initial target there. Thanatos does as much as he can to buffer through the CC with a bellows breath, but it won't matter. FlyQuest gets their dive.
In Bwipo's interview earlier pre-match last week, he was specifically talking about Thanatos and some of the cracks that he saw in Cloud9 emerging from them coordinating with him. And if you do go for these lane swaps, once again, then it puts more pressure on that coordination. And this time around, FlyQuest is going to be able to get that first blood on the top side.
But you can see a couple of cancelled base on the top side as well, because if you just base straight up and the enemy top laner can count to 8, which isn't very high, then they can teleport back. So you've got to like, cancel a couple of times, give it the mind game, and they're going to try and retake their bottom side. However, this can be risky because Brand is still on the bottom side of the map. Thanatos has now made his way down here, so he's already died once. You know, potentially can look to turret dive here, die a second time for the quicker refall and get back up top as long as this dive is successful.
Yeah, let's see. His teleport is available. Here comes Nilah, Rakan, both level 3 afterwards.
He left.
A nice look at that ward again. And Thanatos does not want to die. He was just going to go straight for the teleport up to the top minions.
Okay, so you can see that Blaber didn't want to come. He was on his wolf camp. He's saying, I'm not going to give up my camps to come down and 4v2 dive this. I don't know whether it's a right call because now Thanatos is just going to have to teleport back up top without any items. So if there was ever a time for the top lane Nautilus to win the 1v1, could be right now.
The time is now with his big ruby crystals and boots.
Huge. He's also got a potion and a cookie.
I, for one, am going to be more excited about the Nilah plus Rakan matchup on bottom side than I am about the Nautilus plus Ornn matchup on the other side of the map, because I really feel like Massu and Busio can be the stars of this game for FlyQuest. They've got a large pushing wave coming down, and since both junglers actually see each other on the top side, the bot lanes know that they've got the freedom.
And this is why Lucian plus Lillia is pretty oppressive, because Lucian was able to force out the Corki from lane. That guaranteed the push. That means it inspired very confident to walk into the jungle, take the second Raptor camp, now going to be able to go back to his own Raptor camp. He's going to be probably 3/4 of a level up just on the fact that he got 2 respawn camps this early into the jungle clear.
Yeah, and let's see too, because he's going to reset back out to his own Raptors. Bottom lane is actually just going to crash that giant wave. It's like 3 waves here built up, plus the cannon. See how much FlyQuest can actually harass them or make it difficult. Nilah can't do too much of that. Pretty short range. They're just going to let Berserker collect most of them.
So here we go, level 5 going to tick over for Inspired. See whether he does path back towards that top side and try and get him. Oh, he doesn't have level 5. This is the issue with jungle. Can I let you a little bit of a secret? You need to start yoinking a little bit of laner experience, guys.
Don't worry.
I'm well versed in that.
It's just a cheeky, I'm going to cross and help you push your lane.
Yeah.
Plus 6 experience, you know?
Just enough to hit those breakpoints.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
I turret dove for you. Now I'm going to help you push your wave again.
Yeah.
Don't worry. The cannon minion's tanky, but we're going to make sure this crashes.
Correct.
That's jungling 101, helping the team.
I would say, though, you should not steal it away from Quad. Quad is probably your best player for FlyQuest, I would say, or at least has been on this Lucian. So I want to see if FlyQuest can actually do something with early advantages. Quad's trying to chunk JoJo again.
Got a culling. No mana, though, I don't think.
It definitely has been better for JoJo this time around. Of course, you know, he did not give the first blood over with the flash exchange with Quad, and so has been significantly better this time. Meanwhile, it is going to be a Void Grubs on spawn for Inspired. Easily pick up here with Lillia. Blaber's pretty far away, so I would imagine Blaber's going to just go cross-map here instead.
But can he actually get the dragon this time around? Because bottom lane is shoving in so hard. JoJo's on
even Crab,
300 HP.
I would say even lower your expectations to Crab. He has Smite, so he should be able to smite Crab.
Blaber's Crabbers.
Yeah, immediately Busio forces Blaber to flash away there with a grand entrance. VULCAN and Berserker finally making their way up. The Crab is low, and it is secured by FlyQuest. Crab denied.
Massu and Busio. Massu has just been so impressive as a rookie. Even as an individual player, if you take off the qualifier of as a rookie, Massu extremely impressive this year. Good international performance, pulling out the Nilah plus Rakan with Busio, and now that they're both level 6, you have huge playmaking potential. So actual meaningful steal of the Crab and burning Blaber's flash, big advantages from the bottom lane.
Jungle advantage, though. He's just taken the 3rd Raptors. He's about to take a red buff if he wants to. Bwipo, stop fighting so I can get my jungle camps, please.
Nope, Bwipo's not going to stop.
He's just running the jungle CS race.
Well,
Bwipo, please, man.
Yeah, Bwipo's running something else. He's going to have to be a little bit more careful than he's being right about now as the sleep stops him in his tracks. Thanatos needs a little bit more damage, but he doesn't find it just yet. Blaber makes his way to the top side here to cook him. Bwipo's sins are punished. Thanatos does not die. FlyQuest now might lose their jungler as well. JoJo coming in to try to cut him off, but Quad can cover his escape.
Do you feel more sorry for Inspired because Bwipo died there, or more sorry for the fans that had a full line in the back row with Bwipo signs?
Probably the fans, because I always feel for the fans. But, man, I just don't know what was happening there. That looked like Inspired was about to go up 2 jungle camps in Blaber's jungle on a reset and then just be able to clear 6 camps in his own jungle.
Yeah.
However, now has to burn his flash, his ultimate, and they didn't even win the skirmish. This is just a disaster.
Yeah. Bwipo was really trying to bait way too hard. And as you said, it pulls Inspired off of the red buff that was basically his, and then dies as Blaber had come over. So really, really rough stuff there for FlyQuest. The top Nautilus, top flop so far.
Yeah, not what Bwipo needed to do. I understand trying to bait a fight, but it was just way too far, man.
The thing is that Thanatos had already shopped, and Bwipo's up 1,000 gold without that kill going down. He's already winning. Like, why do you want to win more, man? Just let me carry the game on Lillia.
This is good. We're getting the Spawn coach talk. If
yeah, actually,
Bwipo
I need
was
to
on
calm down a little bit. Not my team, not my team, not my problem.
Your mid laner tweeted earlier today he wanted to hear some spice out of you towards this game, the same way that you give him some spice in the scrims.
I've got an idea for content now. We're gonna have a Bwipo Spawn sit down.
Okay. Just a little bit of a polite diplomatic discussion about decisions made in the topside jungle, as Thanatos is just going to have to eat this whole wave up here, make sure that he can soak all that EXP in gold.
We'll say, though, that Nautilus is destroying the top tower.
Yep.
That top tower is looking, well...
And his brand is going to destroy this Nautilus.
Oh no, he tries to dredge line away, but the Ornhorn combined with the brand damage is just cooking him, man. He smites him like a scuttle crab, and it's another kill going the way of Blaber.
Yeah, I would say that's a really nice kill to pick up for Blaber there, because he was very heavily down in experience in gold. However, now being able to pick up back-to-back kills means he's actually regained control of that matchup. And it looked like FlyQuest were just stronger in their lanes. It looked like, once again, this Lucian has got the push. Bottom lane is 2 levels up in experience, as Massu's about to tick over to level 9. But just nothing has been able to be generated offensively by FlyQuest.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for the bottom lane and for Quad. I feel like they definitely been putting out some good pressure. Meanwhile, Blaber here going to be a much more fed brand. That is now 2 kills that have been given over to Blaber by killing this Nautilus. So yeah, put a crab skin on that Nautilus. Crab skin coming soon.
Oh, very
gang. Meanwhile, Jojo in some trouble in mid lane. Does get out of the CC fast enough to flash away from the rest of the culling to survive this one with barely any health and mana. But down in the bottom lane, gentlemen, I've seen this show before. I've seen this episode. At least Bwipo is going to get one back that time as Thanatos overstays underneath the tier 1 turret.
Okay, this was actually a great play from FlyQuest, so I have been quite critical on them, but Nilah takes turret so quickly, very hard to dive the Nautilus. They get Jojo's flash, they get top tier 1, they're going to get top tier 2 most likely, 6 grubs, and they defend the bottom turret. And I've been hating on them a lot, but FlyQuest just broke the game open.
Yeah, and definitely Massu and Busio have been doing their part in this game, so we'll see how much they can build on it. Quad, though, now in a 2v1.
He's okay. He's going to run towards his Nautilus.
Flashing away, but yeah, the TP ready to intercept this. Bwipo and Quad are going to find Jojo, but Jojo's found them first. Easy pickup on the enemy mid laner, and now Bwipo has to use the dredge line again to try to get some distance. Brand passive's going to explode, but it won't take Bwipo down to an actual lethal range. So C9 get a pick on the enemy mid laner, but what else can they get after?
So yeah, I mean, FlyQuest, with all the towers that they've taken, they do have a gold lead, but it doesn't feel like it because Cloud9 keep chasing down the extra kills across the map here. And with the teleport coming in, Jojo securing another one. And this is worrisome because of the comps that have been picked, with Cloud9 again slamming the 1-2 double blind of the Corki plus Zeri here. They once again have some kills on Berserker, on Jojo, on Blaber, on the correct positions here for them to really scale into the late game once again.
But I'm a glutton for punishment, so I'm going to say it again. They did get Blaber's flash before the Herald, so it should be worth, you know, that death on Quad, it's not a big deal. They got a flash out, they got a teleport out, and I don't feel like that actually altered the game state for FlyQuest. They still are very far ahead.
Well, we'll see, because Massu, the Nilah, definitely can be a big engage as well. He's got,
Corki, no
3
flash.
on bottom.
Oh, press power and flash. Oh.
Not quite. Not quite there. Jojo can just get away with the Valkyrie. The lack of summoner
Are they
spell.
trapped again? Thanatos is here. They are possibly trapped.
Bwipo should be able to get away, you would think. Ornhorn goes on through, still finds Bwipo after the flash, but that is top laner summoner spell down now for FlyQuest.
Little bit upsetting. Little bit upsetting. I feel like they were stronger there. If they fight quickly, fight confidently, I think they can get a kill and get out. However, as you mentioned, they overstay, they go for the deeper vision, they get trapped. And Cloud9 are just playing this small map into small map style of gameplay that allows them to scale so effectively against FlyQuest right now.
Yeah. Definitely. As long as they watch out for the big snap engages that they know are going to come. I mean, if you look
at JoJo's bodyguards again, man.
How does he keep getting away with it, huh?
He's got that Secret Service detail, man. Everybody has to protect Air Force JoJo.
Team game. It is a team game, and you want that Corki fed. We'll see, though. FlyQuest, again, they do have such amazing engage if they can actually coordinate to pull it off. I want to see the dream of the Rakan into Lillia sleeps with Nilah. Like, that's so much AoE there. But,
and you
we'll
might
see if they
wonder
can get
why
the setup.
JoJo is swapping away from quad when he has the support on his side of the map. But sometimes it's just simple. Lots of red dots in top lane. I'm going top. No red dots in bottom lane. Tank, go into the lane with no red dots.
You go deal with that.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see now whether they actually set up to fight one of these dragons or whether the Rift Herald is going to draw teams towards them. It is 14 minutes. I feel like this objective being given over for free, not a big deal unless Inspired does pick up the eye this time.
That is a very important part of Herald. They say that you've always got to learn from your mistakes in the previous games in the series, and I think that's one that FlyQuest should be able to clean up here.
Flowers, I like that. Very coachable caster there.
All right.
With that mindset.
The Observer is with us, all right? Zoom in. Okay,
all right.
Picked it up.
She's got the eyeball. Rift Herald confirmed. Will they just drop it here in mid, or do they have the firepower to just force this tier 1 down without it? Looks like they're going to just try to force it without. The grubs give them so much extra damage. Tier 1 turret down in the mid lane. FlyQuest going to build that gold lead up a little bit further.
Does cost them the remnants of the bottom tower. That bottom tower is going down anyway, but it does go into the hands of JoJo, and this is worrisome because the Corki, again, remember how well Corki and Zeri scale? That is a Trinity Force done off of that outer tower gold that JoJo got solo.
Yeah, and I don't think this is actually all that good for FlyQuest now, because I was saying they need to use their power to force fight. So what I'm expecting them to see is to actually match into that bottom turret, ignore the Herald for a little bit, force them out, because Brand has just been able to continue to farm without this flash being available. If you're not going to punish the summoner spell advantages you get, then you may as well not have had the advantage in the first place. So whilst they're trading even, I do feel like this favors Cloud9 again. I feel like FlyQuest, they really need to push the pace of the game.
We're going to fight this for sure. FlyQuest are teleporting in.
Have to.
They are definitely going to force.
But what happens if C9 just don't come to the party? What happens if JoJo just teleports top right now? Just give it.
Oh, they are staying. I like the spiciness here. Wards in the river, control ward. They're sitting on it here. VULCAN hoping they would get a little opening with a little bit of a face check, but nobody from FlyQuest actually gives them that. Now it becomes a little bit more dicey for Cloud9.
Yeah, I just don't fight this if I'm C9. If you have a teleport, go to the top lane. Like, who cares? Just keep scaling.
Well, we'll see here in a moment. That moment of truth is closing in pretty quickly. Ornhorn is summoned. Thanatos knocks a couple of them up into the air. Busio barely getting away back over the wall as Massu also has to scatter. C9 might go to sleep, but it's just going to be a cat nap. They're feeling fine. They wake right back up and head back over to the Drake. Nobody from FlyQuest is willing to fight anymore after that one. They're just lucky to get out alive.
I want to examine the call from Cloud9 because because there was a double stacked wave that Quad was crashing on bottom turret. So they know we have a couple of seconds here where Quad is at the turret with the big wave. If we just force it now, then we've got the numbers advantage on FlyQuest, and they've got the engaged, massive engage with the Ornn coming through. So nicely done. The little timing window called by Cloud9 here.
And I love the positivity, because you're saying, I want to hear how Cloud9 is decisive. I want to know what the heck FlyQuest is doing retaking Banana Brush when your bottom lane is pushing for free. They have to use every single summoner spell. They lose the fight again that I think they should win because his brand is still flashless. I think the FlyQuest just do not look like they're on the same page.
Look at that focus onto Massu, resulting in him having to use everything to leave. They wanted to be able to use this Nilah on the offensive when he had barrier, when he had flash to go with a huge combo engage. But because they were split, as you're saying, not on the same page, Cloud9 take advantage. They get Dragon number 2. They keep their stacking going.
Speaking of number 2, the second item fully completed now for Massu. Only champion in the game to have that done here with the Bloodthirster plus Navori. The Nilah is very strong if they can ever have a fight the way they want it, but they're just not making it happen.
And I will say, I really like the Flicker Blade rework. On a completely random note.
It's very fun to use.
It's so fun.
It's very fun to use, reducing your cooldown so effectively there. It does make you very squishy, so it's kind of hard on on a lot of the frontline champions, even though the Volibear is quite hilarious to watch, but very good on a lot of these DPS champs.
I just feel like the old Navori was like OP on the champions that could use it and completely useless on everyone else, and now Flicker Blades can just be fun on everything, like infinite hawk shots on Ash. Like, it's a cool item.
It is a very cool item. Shout out to Freak, I guess, because we attribute,
good job, Freak.
We attribute everything about the design of League of Legends or balance to Freak.
Well, if that's the case, he's got a lot of elves in his column at the moment with the rest of the item rework. But the Flicker Blade one, quite all right.
We like Navori. It's a good item. All right, C9, they're still down about 2,000 gold. They are up the 2 Drakes. 3 minutes still until that next Drake spawns. Baron's only a minute away, but I don't think either team is really going to put themselves in a spot where the other could easily rush it at this point. Things are going still pretty slow overall. Only 6 kills on the board.
Well, honestly, I think Cloud9 are kind of happy with this pace and the way that the early game went. And it's weird saying that, even though you're looking at the scoreboard and you're thinking 2,000 gold for FlyQuest, nice advantage for them, but
Berserker?
Wait a second. He's just waiting around watching here as Thanatos will be able to finish up his push. It's kind of sentry ward there. Weird to see the Zeri spending time doing it, but honestly, Berserker should be able to get back mid and pick up all those minions before it gets to the tower. Still gets to eat up.
Yep. Easy peasy. Zeri is so safe around terrain. The ability to just skate back over the wall, not have to worry about any sort of punish. As the Rift Herald is finally summoned up here in the top side. This is not the ideal summoning for the Herald. Highly unlikely to get any value out of that. You just had to use it. So, I mean, they picked up the eyeball. That's progress from game number 1. The Herald not going to see a
sometimes
whole
Shelly
lot.
just pops out too, you know, when the timer's up.
She just shows up. All right, well, she showed up.
Goodbye.
She had her 15 minutes of not fame, and she died in top lane. An unremarkable game from Shelly.
Okay,
Never
here we go,
mind.
fight.
All right, Quad immediately opening up with the calling as Thanatos makes his way into the fight, but now he's eating a lot of bullets from Quad. Thanatos wants to get the Ornhorn here for the part 2. Quad's trying to stand and fight him, but he's not gonna drop just yet. Quad is reinforced by the rest of the team, and Massu's grabbing the kill.
I've seen enough. Hit Baron. This game is going very downhill quickly. That was nearly a 2v4 that C9 nearly traded 1-for-1. I feel like FlyQuest need to get a motor on in this game because they are getting rapidly outscaled.
All right, I guess they're looking towards 50 seconds at the Dragon, and so they are resetting now after that kill. That was a flash blown from Thanatos for a flash from Quad. So although the assassin tank Ornn did not actually assassinate the Lucian there, getting that flash off of Quad might be very beneficial for this Dragon fight that's about to come up.
Yeah, I definitely think it will be. And just juxtapose game 1 to game 2. This time, FlyQuest is first to rotate, so I'm expecting them to get at least 2 kills here and be able to have pressure on the map. However, C9 just bail out of it. They give up 1 kill, get the flash off the mid laner, and now because they're so healthy in the other roles, they secure the fact that FlyQuest can't push for more. It's just about cutting your losses, making sure that you're not overextending to save already dead members.
5 seconds till that Drake spawns. If C9 gets it, it will be soul point for them. Worth noting as well, Bwipo is about to hit a pretty big power spike. As soon as he evolves the Winter's Approach into the Fimble Winter, he needs to get 6 more procs on the item in order to secure the evolution. But FlyQuest is going for the sneak play instead. They want to start up the Baron and see if C9 detects it. Yes, they will. Ward over the wall, and FlyQuest has to back up.
It's pretty hard to do that play like just straight up because you have a lot of good checking tools.
All right, Dredge line doesn't hit. VULCAN's still here on the front line, throws up the Unbreakable. If FlyQuest would have connected there on the Q from Bwipo, I think we would have had a pretty explosive engage, but since nothing lands, nothing happens. C9 back to their defensive positioning as Inspired will look to solo the Drake for FlyQuest, while the other 4 players just keep their eyes on Cloud9, keep them locked here in the mid lane.
Just watch how they try and contest this wave, though, because Brand in creep waves is very scary because of the bounce that can happen. See, FlyQuest just have to give up the wave completely. They are going to get themselves the Dragon. I don't think Cloud9 care at all, by the way. They're just so content scaling in this game.
And they move over. They will at least clear out this vision on Baron. FlyQuest, though, all right, they put a stop to the Dragon stacking here from Cloud9 at the very least. Some more time for this Zeri, for this Corki, though, to continue scaling on up. Muramana has already transformed, so the poke from Corki, very real.
So what I will say is that the damage of Nilah doesn't actually get outscaled. She does so much damage in the later stages of the game. However, you are playing a melee carry, right? And against two highly mobile threats that have clans and potentially a QSS coming across, I do feel like that the fight doesn't get easier for FlyQuest to execute.
Yeah, that's a good point, because the key is the range there is that Massu does have to follow up on the flash engages from the rest of the members. That's why I like this Zhonya's from Inspired. You know, he's going to have to be flashing in there as well to follow up with these sleeps on the Rakan and on the Nautilus. And then another difficult thing for Nilah is that when you are going in short range versus a brand, you also expose yourself to a lot of this splash magic damage, which you don't actually get to avoid with your big dodging shield, which poses a lot of problems for most other carries trying to kill you. So we'll see how well FlyQuest can actually navigate their big team fight, because I don't think they're going to get a lot of chances at their big team fight. It puts a lot of pressure on the first big mid-game one that you go for.
Yeah, and I would also say Nilah's passive advantages is she goes up in experience. However, when AD carries start catching mid lanes by themselves, that goes away as well. Potentially going to look for a fight here on this line brush. Jojo.
Yeah, Jojo steps up, but immediately backs right away. Bwipo now enduring the firepower of the entirety of C9. He barely gets out. Ornn used, knocks him up into the air, and Blaber's got the kill. 1-0 C9 so far as FlyQuest heads back to the safety of their turrets, and C9 are about to wipe those turrets off the map.
Those plays from Jojo are why I love him.
Yep.
He is so confident to bait you. He baited the whole rest of the team of FlyQuest. That's why Bwipo went in from the other side.
Blaber flashed in.
They're trying to go for it. Busio wanted the engage. Beautiful shutdown coming out from Massu as Cloud9's War Machine has to slam the brakes. FlyQuest will at least get one back. They'll hold on to their tier 2 turret.
Okay, so this is what I expected to see out of C9. They are the explosives team, but you can see that FlyQuest actually catch it well. Maybe this is why they were more reserved in game number 1 in their closeout. In saying that, Blaber does trade his flash for 2 flashes on the side of FlyQuest, so it is just going to be a 1-for-1 trade, but big shutdown going over to Massu. Now he picks up his Infinity Edge. Can do a lot of damage if he can get into these fights.
Yeah. Here's another look at it. So Jojo baited the whole rest of the team, and Braum ultimate made sure... Wow, look at that delay. The Braum ultimate made sure that everyone who got baited over to the other side could not go to Bwipo.
Oh, Jojo's in trouble.
Jojo might have got caught a little bit here. Inspired at about half HP. VULCAN going to jump back over the wall to keep Jojo protected. FlyQuest taking the opportunity, recognizing the damage on Jojo. They're going to start up the Baron, but they have to back away because now Quad is under pressure. Jojo's going to recall, but then he can rejoin the fight with the Unleashed Teleport, and that's exactly what he'll do. Berserker continuing to posture aggressively as C9 wants to get the wave shoved out. Now they're recognizing, hey, enemy mid laner is hurt, but Quad doesn't have a TP to go back and heal and immediately rejoin.
Yeah, I would love to see why there wasn't a flash expended to try and follow up on Jojo. Maybe Inspired just didn't think he had the damage, but that looked like it was an outright pick. And now we're in, again, a situation where C9 are just choking out the vision, making sure that FlyQuest have to walk into the brand damage.
Yep, one of the blue orbs used there. Cloud9 actually just waited out. They have another blue orb.
Okay,
Quad has
trouble.
Yeah, Jojo flies in for a little bit of damage onto Inspired, but now it's Bwipo, who's again got to try to get away. He's too tanky for Cloud9 to overcommit to. Inspired is going to continue hopping back out of the jungle, but C9 with control over the top side river. Now they have to retreat and regroup.
Yeah, Quad went for red buff. Cloud9 tried to jump on them when Quad actually went down to the other side of the map to go grab red buff for the team, but FlyQuest escaped there. They get the red buff. They return to the Baron. Now it's their turn.
So what I will say about the new global red buffs is sometimes it can really bait your team, because in the past you could just go sneak it as an AD carry. Now it shows everywhere. You can see the mid lane contest happening again. Bwipo caught.
Bwipo's thrown up into the air, but immediately the counter engage comes out from FlyQuest. Cloud9's going to get caught in a wombo, but nobody's killed off just yet. Blaber with Thanatos getting themselves away. The firepower from C9 brings FlyQuest health bars low, but nobody on either side has died just yet. Keep your eyes on Berserker. A full HP Zeri could look for a pop-off angle here. That zap will not connect through the wall on anybody. And for how explosive it was, gentlemen, everybody walks away.
And as you can see, walking into the Braum brand is quite dangerous but no one dies. That means they're going to reset. Another dragon coming up. You can see, again, FlyQuest, they don't want the dragon. They know they have to force around the Baron.
Another key too, now no barrier on Massu, so the Nilah has no summoners, while Berserker Zeri has everything and has the 3-item power spike as well with the Lord Doms. The Zeri will start shredding here. Thanatos has teleport, and they've got Thanatos just pushing topside instead.
This is cheeky.
They want to pick him in.
Picking the full tank Ornn. Quite a feat. But unsuspecting,
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, that's not really the one that I would go for, but, you know, there's a reason I'm a yapper, not a player. Scuttle Crab secured by the side of C9 as they once again exit as a unit.
Now, Bwipo also has this teleport, and he just did Krugs and went down to the bottom lane. So he delayed showing until now. He'll get up and push this wave. Now Bwipo's bottom wave is going to put pressure on Cloud9 to answer.
Yeah, and what FlyQuest was looking for there, they had a flank on Busio, they have teleport, but the new Crab just foils all their plans because when C9 picks that up, it has the explosion of new vision.
Yep.
They see Busio, they get to see every single ward that's on the flank, so then they can just scout out the rest of the play. Prioritizing that new Crab can sometimes be crucial when you know that the enemy needs an explosive teamfight.
New Crab OP. We were
Very
talking
good.
about some of the weaknesses of the new red buff. New Crab has no such weaknesses.
I would agree.
He's just very, very powerful. FlyQuest still up 1,500 gold. C9 up a single Drake. The game could go either way, but as that clock marches forward, we're still getting closer and closer to 6-item Corki, 6-item Zeri.
So I will say that, however, League of Legends has kind of changed. In the past, when there were these super tanks, scaling mattered a lot. However, now there's so much damage in the game that if you get any character to level to 6 items, everyone kind of just dies instantly. So like at 2 or 3 items, scaling real, 4 to 5, kind of fake.
That's why I would say range is so critical because there's not a lot of ways for you to get more range. And Cloud9 inherently do have a very big advantage there with Ornn engage being incredibly long. And then, of course, the Corki rockets as well looking for pokes. So we'll see if FlyQuest's flashes and snap engages will be enough to close that. And
Very critically, too, look at the armband for Massu. This is a big purchase, not something you would normally expect on Nilah. Looking it up, I don't even know if she has a single AP ratio in the kit. She does not, based on what I'm reading, but it doesn't matter. You're not buying it for the AP. It's about being able to engage and then immediately aggro drop so you don't die. This could be a big clutch purchase for him. Cloud9's going to need to be aware of that one as Blaber wants to step up, try to see if he can maybe go for a steal, but it ain't going to work. Engage from Bwipo, and Blaber has to zone. He's just trying to stay alive. Immediately the rest of Cloud9 trying to back up their jungler. He gets off his spells before he dies, and Bwipo's going to try to get back away. Now FlyQuest going back in as Jojo gets ulted by the Lillia. He's going to try to escape now as he's thrown up into the air by the grand entrance from Busio. Jojo about to die to the Eve, and there he goes. Quad takes the kill. Falcon's on the run, but the blooming blows beat him down. Berserker's trying to fire back at these guys, but he's only a single man. He takes out 2, but it's a 2 for ace for FlyQuest.
huge pick onto Blaber. The punish from FlyQuest is going to result in their Baron.
And finally, we see some of the tendencies of C9 coming out. A cheeky peek at a blue buff. Maybe I can pick this up for myself. Collapse came through from FlyQuest. Very good punishment. And you can see that Massu's whole job in these team fights is just to keep one of the AD carries away, playing the anti-carry role very well.
Yeah.
Going away Berserker for the majority of the fight. Jojo goes down. Berserker tries his best, but FlyQuest get the Baron buff.
A big, big mistake from Blaber gets punished by Bwipo. Connects the dredge line. They're waiting on this Baron a little bit, I think, to try to see if they could get their other guys back alive. It ain't quite going to happen yet.
I actually think they're just really slow. I don't think they're waiting for anything.
Fair enough.
Bwipo gets payback. That's what this replay is. He gave over 2 kills early in the game to Blaber, but this hook finding him as Blaber was trying to get a little bit too far forward, sneaking around that blue buff. It's hugely punished. And then look at the follow-up. Inspired Sleep into the Rakan follow-up as well. And Berserker gets kind of chased out on the bottom side from Massu. As you were pointing out, Spawn, Massu just chasing the other big carry away from the fight, allowing Inspired Sleep and Busio's Rakan follow-up to do their work on JoJo. So just nicely done once they got the pick as well. I would compliment FlyQuest there.
Yeah, and I think this is something that Massu plays greater than his age in his experience, right? Because he actually sees the team fight quite slowly and quite wide, knows when it's his job to output the maximum DPS, but also in this case, knows when it's his job to just break up the team fight, make sure that they can't retreat as a unit. So credit to Massu, actually played that fight quite well.
He's got that the time slowdown. He sees bullet time in the team fights.
A little bit of Neo from the Matrix, maybe.
Some Max Payne going on. Let's see what FlyQuest can do with this Baron buff, though, because remember, if they win this, we get another game. We get another one of these bangers.
They've got control over the Rift right now. They want to try to get as much value out of this Baron as they can. You can see the total they've made, only plus 1,000 gold. The buff itself is worth 1,500, so not a whole lot gained from this major objective just yet as Cloud9 are in full defense mode.
And let's see how aggressive they play, because we've been talking about the summoner spells all game long, but now this time around, Jojo and Berserker don't have summoner spells available. So if there was ever an easier time to start the fight just off a hook, just off a Rakan engage, it might be now. You can see that Inspired going for a little bit of a wrap here. No, he's pushing bottom lane. How dare I?
Quad also, they've got him pushing the other lane, so nice little 1-3-1 from FlyQuest. They get both side lanes.
Any other jungler in the world is looking for a wrap over the two pink ones. Inspired's just looking for CS.
Sir, there are red dots on the map.
I will compliment that they made a change that now later into the game you do get full experience off of minions. You know, there's no penalty for junglers being the split pushers nowadays. It is fully efficient here for Inspired to pick those.
I feel like Bwipo should just show himself. Actually, Baron buff after this wave, because it's just cleared so easily without doing that.
Yeah.
FlyQuest a little bit slow on this rotation.
There's only 20 seconds left on the Baron, honestly. FlyQuest not going to get a ton with it. Cloud9's defense largely successful. FlyQuest, they don't even have the wave ready to go. Finally, that's going to be arriving here in the mid lane, but they don't have the power to really try to force down the tier 2 with it. Quad is going to try to steal away the enemy red buff here, as, it is ultimately secured by Jojo. Nice snipe back.
Okay, Jojo past level 16 now. He's level 17, so these rockets are actually closer to old Corki rockets. When in the past, Corki was just a rocket machine.
Yeah.
Now at level 16, it really does ramp up the damage. You can see also picked up his QSS again. This is a part of the game that you get a little bit worried for FlyQuest, because they didn't punish the lack of flashes. Now Cleanse and QSS both purchased. If this becomes a one-team fight game, C9 have a lot of tools to be able to mitigate the CC that's going to come out and actually turn the fight in their favor.
Yeah, they certainly do. Look at all these tools available. The QSS that you mentioned. On the other side, you actually have the Rakan Mikhails in addition to the multiple arm guard stasis. So FlyQuest, they don't have a lot of time to like pull off their engage, but they do have some useful inventory items here to be able to just flash in, make sure you get the stasis, make sure no one drops down in that split second.
And I think that's the difference between playing against Brand and Lillia, right? Against Brand, he's just going to get his damage off, so you have to be a way to get untargetable, get away from that damage. Lillia, it's all about the sleep into everyone else piling on over the top. So I do like the fact that teams are itemizing specifically for the comp, not for necessarily just what they would normally purchase from the shop, you know? This isn't your weekly grocery list. This is a highly specialized, tailored menu for your opponent.
Exactly. We're leaving the cookie cutters at home. That's for baking desserts with grandma. These guys are dialed into this head-to-head. This is for the buy, remember. This is to be the other team that gets to join your Team Liquid squad spawn and only needing to win a single best of 5 to make it to Worlds. It's a huge advantage.
What are we doing in the buy, by the way? I got a week off for the first time.
I think we're going out, buddy. For old time's sake.
Party like it's 2017?
That's what you're actually playing for, Reapit and Nuke Dog.
Yeah,
what you don't understand, it's the privilege of joining Kobe and Sport on a night out.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. One of them old school good times. Winner of this series locks a first round bye. Loser locked into third place definitively. So it's not like you're going to fall super far, but man, the difference between second and third is just massive considering you get to skip that first round.
Also, like, I don't care what anyone says. I will say this is just a regular season game. It didn't mean anything. We knew we were going to play each other. But getting a win in the last regular season against an opponent you're going to play in 2 weeks, most likely, heavily plays on your mind.
Oh, yeah.
At least as a coach. I hate to lose these games.
I feel like it's huge for morale, one way or the other, right? C9, again, just trying to have control over the mid lane here. Baron is going to spawn in 30 seconds. Drake going to spawn just 5 seconds earlier. Control over the Herald pit, the Baron pit, whatever you want to call it, the pit. currently owned by FlyQuest, but C9
This is the airport
change
pit.
that.
Because
Yeah.
this one's got the runway.
Oh, no, I hate the airport. This is the LAX Bear, and it's super clogged up, and everybody's always getting in each other's way.
Here we go. Full flank.
Okay.
Four-way flank.
Bwipo and Busio coming around. Cloud9 might have got caught. Immediate engage coming through from FlyQuest as the culling forces Berserker out of the fight. Bwipo still taking up in the middle of everybody, but the resurrection has to come through as Massu's going to bring it back. Berserker outfights it. Quad going back in, but he won't be able to find him here just yet. Busio's about to drop. Massu's going to be cold next as Quad is the only one left standing. Cloud9 is not trapped in here with them. They're trapped in here with Cloud9. A quadra for Jojo. An ace for 2 for C9.
And that's going to be Cloud9, your second best team in the LCS, acquiring number 2 right here. They will 2-0 FlyQuest. Thanatos teleporting immediately to end it.
FlyQuest thought they had their fight. They thought they had the flank. They thought they had the angle. They thought wrong. Cloud9 will 2-0 this series. They will claim the second spot, and they will earn themselves a bye in the summer playoffs.
Wow, what an impressive fight from C9. Berserker and Jojo going crazy in that one. FlyQuest, they're going to rewatch that 10x times. This is what I'm saying. I don't care what anyone says. That's going to be in the back of their minds.
It was a chaotic ending. Let's join Jatt on stage for an interview.
Thank you very much, Flowers. Blaber, I got to ask you about that last fight. What was going through your head?
I thought it was going to be a good fight because I was able to get all my spells off, and they used all their ults on me. So I thought it was going to be a good fight, but, you know, I don't really know. I was kind of inting.
Well, what happened in this series even? Because this is not a typical way that Cloud9 has won this year. You were down in gold in both of these games, but you still came out with 2-0.
I think Game 3 was just pretty hard to play because they swapped on us with Nilah. So they were just really far ahead in like XP in gold from just how Nilah works in the early game. So it was pretty hard for me to contest like any objective early. But I'm glad we played well, I think, until I flashed in. But I think we played well from behind, and I'm glad we won.
Yeah, what does it mean now to get the second seed for you guys? What kind of importance were you putting on this?
I mean, I think it was more important for us to win, like, for confidence, because last split, we lost to both Fly and TL. And at least being able to beat one of them this split definitely feels really good. I think the seeding-wise, like, we didn't really care too much, because we were going to be third no matter what, right? And I'm assuming TL's not going to choose FlyQuest. So, yeah, we'll probably end up playing them again anyways.
Yeah, it could be a rematch in the playoffs. Going back just a little bit, I know last week after falling to TL, you did say you were proud of the way you guys played, especially responding to the lane swapping. Is that something you feel like you were able to build off of in this week and also in this series?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't think that we're that bad at lane swapping. I think Fly is also not that bad. I think TL is just on another level with lane swapping. I think I said that last week as well, but yeah, I think we've definitely improved. This week we practiced a lot of lane swaps and scrims, just forcing it, even in bad situations, to try to improve on it, because we know that's going to be like a big thing going into this playoffs.
And I just got to say, especially in this series, it felt to me as a viewer that Spring Split C9 would not have been able to win both of these games. So with the improvement you guys have shown in Summer Split, how confident are you moving into the playoffs to fight for the championship?
I'm pretty confident. I think that we can definitely be the best team in this playoffs. I think that it's really close. Honestly, between us, TL, and Fly, I think any of us can take it. So I'm just looking forward to having good games.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it. Congratulations, Blaber, on the win. We're going to send it up to the casters to check out the standings.
Thank you very much, Jatt. Let's take a look at those standings. Team Liquid firmly in control of the league in first place. Cloud9 now earning themselves that second spot, that second bye in the playoffs. FlyQuest will be locked in at number 3 with 100 Thieves at number 4, and then Dignitas and Energy Kia wrapping us up at 5 and 6 with Immortals and Shopify eliminated from playoff contention. We still got one more best of 3 in store for y'all. We're heading to a break right now, but stick around. Dig versus Immortals is coming up next.
Dude, why'd you put your new rig in the basement?
Didn't you hear? Bill's a good gillionaire now.
Basically, my new connection is so strong I can game anywhere. Check it out. We've got Gamer Rocker, Gamer Floaty, Gamer Couch.
Whoa.
It's got wheels.
Gamer Bench, Gamer Throne, and Gamer Mower.
What's that?
It's hard to game while walking downstairs.
I get it.
That's smart.
Live like a gagillionaire with low latency everywhere. AT&T Fiber with All-Fi.
Red Bull gives you wings.
I've got the Samsung 990 Pro series. Shall we get started then? The speed exceeds all expectations. Reading speeds are 40% quicker than before, and writing speeds are 55% faster. Through the in-house controller, the per-watt performance has improved up to 50%. The 990 Pro's nickel coating controller for its smart thermal solution technology controls you. Playing computer games? Obviously the best.
Hello, I'm here with Busio after, unfortunately, your loss to C9. I did want to talk a lot about that comp in Game 2, though, because I actually really liked it. Talk me through your preparation in pulling out this kind of Nilah with 2 supports composition.
Well, there wasn't really any preparation. Like, Bwipo never played it before, and we didn't really play any Nilah. Just Massu played it like a long time ago in Academy, and the second game was just like, you know, let's just ball, you know, and have a good time. And yeah, the series, we were joking that it doesn't really matter. So, you know, let's just play some good champions. Let's get practice on a wide variety of things. And yeah, that's what happened.
I'm actually really surprised because I thought you guys did a great job, especially off of that initial dive. I thought you made the most of Nilah's ability to kind of chew through turrets at the 11-minute like top lane push as well. So I guess talk me through communication. Also, if it was so like unprepared, like you said, what is that conversation like in draft with your coaches?
Bwipo's just like, pick me Nautilus here, no matter what. So then we picked Nautilus no matter what. And then on 4-5, Massu was feeling a Nilah, so he got the Nilah and he was owning. So yeah.
Nice. It sounds like our Team USA draft comms, you know,
yeah, exactly.
Which didn't go out, but they were a banger. Lastly, you are going to be facing NRG next in the bracket now.
Okay.
Any like thoughts on them or how you're going to be prepping to face them in your first round of playoffs?
I mean, prepping just like normal, you know, because the entire split is just you have one best of 3, one series a week. Now it's just a best of 5, so kind of the same thing. Just keep practicing. Very confident facing NRG, so yeah.
Nice. Well, all the best. I'm sorry about the loss, but I did like the Nilah comp. I thought it was really fun. And we will be back with Dig IMT on the other side of the break.
Bye.